Lecture for Introduction to Counseling. What we're going to be doing for the rest of the semester is catching up with things that we haven't done yet, that you haven't done yet. I'll be grading them. And counseling, doing mock counseling class sessions. In order to do a mock counseling session, you have to have a mock character. You have to have a character. Um, there is a copy of the history form that you need to fill out to create your character. Only 5 of you have done it. There are 21 people in the class. Probably 20 of you are working on finishing the class. That's about a quarter. That is exactly a quarter of students. Now let me explain to you how you cannot pass this class unless you do this. Okay, so let's assume that you got optimum scores on all your quizzes. That's 150 points. Let's assume that you've done all of the discussion questions. That's 120 points actually. So that would be 270 points. The counseling sessions are, there are 10 of them with 10 points for 10 points each. That's 100 points. The fictional biography is 50 points. That's 150 points. And the library paper is about the problem that your fictional character has. And that's another 100 points. That's 250 points. So without the library paper, without the fictional biography, and without the counseling sessions, that's 250 points. Well, that puts you right, that's below this. Potentially you could have 270 points, maybe a couple points higher than the probability. Well, you're not going to pass the class. You can only pass the class if you do your counseling sessions. So there you go. You got to get that thing done. You got to turn that thing in. If anybody has any problems with this, then you need to contact me and we could discuss it. But other than that, I'm going to assume that you're just not doing it. And if you don't have it done by the end of the semester, I accept late work. So you've got until the 1st of December, sometime in December, to get her done. And if you don't get it done, I don't have much choice. So it would be sad to get 270 points or 280 points. You're still way shy. You're still just not going to get it done. You're going to have to do the fictional biography. You're going to have to do the library paper. That's 100 points. That's a lot of points. And the counseling sessions are another 100 points. And if you only do 5 counseling sessions, that's 50 points. Still enough to pass. So I would suggest getting it done. It's the only way you can pass the class. So today is the last lecture. Boom! We're all finished. We'll be all finished as soon as we get through the lecture. Chapter 15. Evaluating and ending professional relationships. Not the easiest thing in the world. Sometimes you think your counseling sessions are going forever. A lot of times the client wants it to go on forever. The evaluating progress needs to be continuous throughout the counseling process. So we need to evaluate what's going on, and hopefully, if you're a good instructor, you're evaluating through your entire class. It's the same way with counseling. With counseling sessions, you should be continuously thinking, is this working? What can I do next? How can I help this person? If everything you do is formulary and you go step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, then a lot of times you're not flexible enough to catch things that need to be caught. Before the first meeting, the practitioner should evaluate whether additional information is needed, information about the client, evaluate what level of expertise that will be needed for this client. And this is something that you always worry about this. this? Am I doing the right thing? Am I giving them the right information? Are we using the right technique? During exploration stage, practitioners evaluate if they have necessary information about resources needed. Do they have the expertise to work with the special needs of the client? And this is always a worry as well. So you have a lot to think about. The practitioner needs to perform ongoing evaluation after each session is done to identify how well the clients think he or she is being heard and to determine the strength of the relationship. And of course, you're going to be taking notes on each counseling session. And this should be in there, this evaluation as to whether you're progressing or not. During the exploration phase, the practitioner evaluates whether they fully understand the problem, situation, and issues of the client. During the goal-setting phase, practitioners monitor the quality of the alliance and baseline assessment of actions. During the action phase, practitioner and client develop a plan for goal achievement that is a blueprint to evaluate progress. After each meeting, the practitioner should consider whether the work is leading to the achievement of the identified goals. If the skills being used aren't helpful, the practitioner needs to adjust the technique. And this is something you've got to do after every session. Is it working? Is there anything else I can do? Is this going to lead us to where we need to go? If progress is being made, it is important to highlight successes and focus on improvement. Evaluation should emphasize progress to be supportive of the client and gratifying for the practitioner. In other words, he needs to make, or they need to make sure that their techniques are working. That's where the gratification comes in. Demonstrating progress through evaluations demonstrates success. Success enhances self-esteem by showing the client that they can succeed. As self-efficacy increases, so does the client's sense of empowerment. One of the most important times for evaluation occurs during the ending process. What was the most helpful? What did not work well? What was learned? What are additional areas for growth? Scaling questions are an excellent tool to use for evaluating progress. They can be used in your final evaluation with the client. The scores are lower. If the scores are lower, the practitioner might discuss additional work that the client needs to do to accelerate their progress. So the ending evaluation, let's review our goal attainment continuum again to see if you believe you've reached the expected outcomes. I don't know if I'd use the word continuum, but that's okay. When we began working on reviewing the agency's policies on providing services to the elderly clients, we identified several goals. In our next meeting, let's review what we have accomplished in relation to each goal. As you know, our final meeting will be 3 weeks from today, reminding the client of when the relationship will end. Before our next meeting, will you think about what has been most helpful for you? Early on in this project, we established clear goals. I think we should talk together about whether those goals have been achieved and decide if further work is necessary. Is that okay with you? On a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being completely satisfied with where you are in relation to this goal that we set, what number would you give yourself? A 1. Wow. I remember that when we started working together, you told me that folks in the family yelled at each other at almost every meal. You have come a long way since then. Let's spend a few minutes reviewing what you have accomplished since we began working together. Good practitioners are continually involved in evaluation of their work, and of course, I keep talking about this. Practitioners may elicit feedback about things they said or did that were helpful or those that were not. Clients can be invited following ending of services to complete a written form on their satisfaction. Evaluations can be reviewed face-to-face or not. Receiving this evaluation information gives the practitioner information for helping future clients. Professional relationships end for a number of reasons: managed care, insurance, lack of funds, achievement of goals, lack of satisfaction with progress. I'm sorry, sir, but according to your health care or your health plan, we can't call the doctor, we can't call the nurse. We have to call the lady with the alligator purse. When clients leave unexpectedly, it is good to follow up. Ask clients about their decision to leave whenever possible. Whoops, that didn't go together. The practitioner should indicate to the client that the meetings are ending. The client and practitioner may decide to have less frequent meetings before the final ending. The client and the practitioner need to summarize such things as what has been most important, what changes have been made, what was most difficult. Reviewing and remembering both the good and the difficult times in the process is important. Don't just go over all your successes. Also talk about some of your struggles. In the ending process for a professional relationship, the practitioner and client identify what tasks remain to be completed after the relationship has ended. In the ending process for a professional relationship, the practitioner tells the client that they can return for future meetings if needed. Don't give them a hug. In the ending process for a professional relationship, the practitioner invites feedback about the entirety of their work together. At the end of a professional relationship, the practitioner asks the client if there are any final questions. Saying goodbye, ending professional relationships, feeling about ending. In long-term relationships, the client and the practitioner need to allow time to talk about their feelings. Some clients feel a sense of loss, sadness, fear, and or anger. Clients may feel happy about their achievements and ready to move on. Positive reactions and pride in their work is as common as sadness or anger. Feelings about ending, if the client has limited supportive relationships or is hesitant about their ability to continue on their own, they may express more painful feelings. Ending with groups can bring similar feelings. Practitioners may also experience emotions. As appropriate, practitioners can share their feelings. Saying goodbye, I'm going to miss seeing you and hearing about your progress. I am happy that you have achieved your goals. I'm going to miss our time together. I feel sad when I think about not seeing you, but I am glad that you are satisfied with the progress that we have made. This will be the last time that I see you. I am glad to have been a part of your journey as you figured out the best way to help your aging father. I hope that nursing home works out well for your father. I am glad that in our work together you were able to mend your relationship with your brother. I hope that over time you will become close friends and support each other's. I can see that you are really excited about the opportunities that your new job is going to provide for you. I'm so glad that you achieved your goal of getting a new job that offers you new opportunities. Ending with task groups and larger groups involves the same process as ending with a single client relationship. It is important to talk about when work will be completed. Work with the group to develop a thorough summary of what has been accomplished in order to stabilize future changes. Ending with the task group. Make plans for sustaining and building on the group's accomplishments. Develop a system for evaluating the work accomplished and giving feedback. This should all be in place. Celebrating success should be included. This is really kind of interesting because these are all women and he's the only guy. Look how he's holding himself in, trying to protect himself. Look where he's got his hands, trying to protect himself. Since next week will be our last meeting together, I think we should make a plan for how we will celebrate everything that you have accomplished. I have enjoyed working with each of you and will miss seeing you. I am confident that you folks will continue to use the parenting methods you learned in this group. Planning for career-long professional development, identifying career-long processes. Professionals should participate in self-evaluation and evaluation of clients by getting feedback from peers and supervisors. Practitioners pursue ongoing professional development through participating in personal counseling, reflecting on your own values and ethics in your work with diverse clients, participating in lifelong learning to keep abreast of new ideas and resources. Create a career development plan that might include practice skills and knowledge related to different types of client challenges, different cultural groups, different size systems, professional journals, continuing education, deciding whether to specialize or not, staying current with evidence-based practice, keeping current with research is expected. I don't know who she is. That is the end. I'm just sick of goodbyes. Gee, I almost fell asleep during that one.